How did Roberta Tubbs' character go from a cool, badass young woman in the Cleveland show to basically a mute background prop in the show of Family Guy?
Careful.
Recently, in my Cleveland show retrospective, I talked a lot about how since the show's cancellation in 2013, the Brown and Tubbs family have been totally underutilized since their move over into Family Guy, especially kids Rallo, Jr. and Roberta. But the one character that I feel really needs some focus is Roberta, who I believe is one of the biggest lost opportunities in Family Guy history. And I'm gonna tell you why. The Cleveland show's formula seemed pretty similar to Family Guy on the surface, so the writers really wanted to create their own identity through its characters, so they let us know straight away that this new teenage girl was gonna be hella different from Meg. I mean, Roberta was good looking, popular, and pretty funny in a self-aware and meta kind of way.
You get on my nerves! Like when white people make a TV show they think black people will watch.
And what I liked about Roberta's character from the off was that they didn't make her entire identity about hating her mum's new boyfriend.
You know, I guess I could get used to having a dad again.
I mean, if they stretched that across the entire show, it would have gotten boring very quickly and wasted any time that could have been used to make her a good standalone character. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, straight off the bat, in the second episode of the show, Roberta's school is throwing a daddy-daughter dance, so naturally she asks her birth father, Robert, to come. But Robert is of course a deadbeat dad who breaks every promise he makes, and knowing that she'll be alone at the dance, Cleveland shows up for her in a truly touching scene.
And you can be angry and you can hate me, but you can't stop me from being there for you.
Thus building a lovely foundation to our modern paternal relationship. This relationship is of course balanced with the occasional argument simply because of the reality that Cleveland has never learned how to parent a teenage girl, but in general, they do get on pretty well together because she sees just how much of a deadbeat her biological dad is.
What's up, Rwanda?
Merry Christmas, Dad.
Whereas Rallo is completely oblivious to the fact that his dad is a loser and can't even remember his name. In fact, in the season 1 episode, A Cleveland Brown Family Christmas, it's revealed that she's been calling her little brother every single holiday and pretends to be their dad just to spare the kids' feelings.
Happy birthday, Rallo. How's your mama's ass look?
And I think this is Roberta's biggest quality. Although she acts too cool to care, she actually does love her family and is very thoughtful. And this trait is shown consistently, especially in the 4th episode where she discovers that Junior has deep issues stemming from his parents' divorce. It turns out that he had never cried or processed his parents' breakup properly. So to give him some much needed closure and to get those tears out, Roberta puts on a roast in Junior's honor, insulting him so much that he finally lets out his emotions. And it seems harsh, but they did it out of love, and it did work out in the end.
Thank you.
We love you too, Junior.
Roberta and Junior's relationship is one that would only blossom over time. Another great moment being in season 1's Love Roller Coaster, where a teacher challenges Roberta to get by without her looks alone. So she comes to school the next day wearing a fat suit and everyone shuns her. Well, everyone except for her brother Junior. So the two strike up a friendship and she even protects him against his bullies. And she's shown to be quite smart too by helping Cleveland Jr. with his project at the science fair. And when it's time for her to leave, she writes him a very sweet note just to spare his feelings.
I've learned so much about myself just being your friend. Thank you, Junior.
But it has to be said that one of my all-time favourite Roberta and Junior moments came in season 3's All You Can Eat. I talked a lot about this in my last video, so I won't go into too much detail again, but what I will say is that I absolutely adore this episode as it really highlights every great thing about Roberta's character. From helping Junior get a new makeover to offering to be his prom date at the big dance.
My stepsister would pretend to be my lesbian girlfriend?
She doesn't care what anyone thinks of her when she walks in with Junior, and she even dances with the only lesbian in school when she feels shunned and like an outcast amongst her classmates. She was truly shining as a three-dimensional character. She has the typical popular girl stereotype, which made for interesting situations not seen in the likes of Family Guy, but she also thrived because of her good heart, her maturity, and her ethics. But unfortunately after this, Roberta was mostly shifted to the background in the later seasons, with only a handful of standout episodes, one being in season 3's BMOC, where Roberta is hesitant about going to college, so Cleveland takes her to his old one, where she reveals her secret intelligence.
I get good grades, and I haven't even told my mom this yet, but I was in the 98th percentile for the PSATs.
This shows that rather than hiding her true intelligence behind a fat suit in the earlier season, she was now ready to embrace being her true self. This episode allows her to realize that she does want to go to college and make something of her future.
State? That podunk school? Where I'm going is gonna cost way more than that.
Really?
And not only this, but when she finds out that an alma mater messed with her stepdad and tied him to a donkey, she's pissed. And when the a-holes try it on, she absolutely kicks their asses.
Where is he?
North end of the woods, just off campus.
And in season 4, she shines again when giving a great philosophical speech to Rallo about Junior's deep insecurities.
Carrying the tiny candle of hope, shielding it against the bitter winds of negativity.
This shows that she is a lot more aware of the people around her than others give her credit for. And it's not just her family she watches out for, but also her friends and neighbours. In season 4, Roberta gets a job as one of the mall Santa elves, but when her neighbour's request to be Santa is denied, she goes out of her way to make Kendra's Christmas come true, even pimping up her ride to make it look like Santa's sleigh. And it's in that same episode where she also stands up to her sexist boss in defense of her colleagues.
I'm sick of your sexist ways. I quit.
She wasn't perfect and had her flaws like any teenager does, and made mistakes, but that's what only made her more three-dimensional. Unlike Meg, Roberta has never been a joke character that was just there to be bullied or messed with. She's got some depth, and I just wish that the Cleveland show explored this more, as in reality she didn't have that many standalone episodes compared to the likes of Rallo and Junior, probably because she wasn't as cartoony as them, or had another character that she could really let loose and have some fun with. And maybe they would have given her more to do in season 5 if Fox hadn't axed the show. So when the Cleveland show was cancelled in 2013, the Brown and Tubbs family were relocated to Quahog, where they were reduced to simple mute background characters. And the only bit that Roberta did have was with Quagmire, who hit on her, which is super creepy because she's only supposed to be 15. I mean, remember back in the Cleveland show pilot when Cleveland went all boss daddy mode and threatened Roberta's boyfriend into being more respectful? Yeah, well, where was that guy? Why didn't Cleveland have that same attitude when his pervert friend hit on his stepdaughter? And I mean, one possible reason as to why Roberta hasn't spoken is because they've been unable to get the original voice actress Reagan Gomez Preston to appear again, and that Nia Long, who voiced Roberta in season 1, didn't come back to the show either. So it might be that, or simply because Family Guy didn't have the budget to bring them back, which personally, I think is bullcrap. Voice actors are replaced all the time, and with Roberta joining a new show, this could have been the perfect opportunity to introduce a new voice for her. Personally, I think it's just down to the fact that the Family Guy writers don't care about Cleveland's family, and were very quick to sweep them under the rug. It just seemed like a cheap joke to bring them back to Family Guy for Peter to simply mock the spin-off.
You know, not a single person stopped watching because you left.
Which is just a shame. I mean, it's pretty obvious for a long time that the writers just don't know how to write for a teenage girl. Just look at Meg, who is written to be bullied and to be gross, who I may add is now 18 years old. She's an adult, so naturally there's a missing place there. Roberta is 14, so she'll be the perfect character to bring in when the stories discuss high school, dating, and dealing with social dramas. But you know what? That's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think? Should Roberta have a bigger role? And what's your thoughts on the Cleveland show in general? Let me know in the comments, and let's talk about if they should bring back the Cleveland show or its characters into the world of Family Guy again. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.